So, the purpose of this video is I want you to think like a retailer. So, when I had my boutique in 2007 to 2010, I I had experience being a furniture designer. So, I worked for someone else for 7 years and I designed all types of furniture, like with fabrics and wood finishes and metals and all kinds of different materials and sizing and, you know, just all types of things that I had to coordinate. But the one thing that I didn't really have to worry about because the owners of the business took care of it was creating the context for my business or for, as a salesperson, like inside of the furniture business. And when I had the opportunity to have my own brand and open up my own shop, that was something that I thought very, very seriously about is like, what is the context of my business? Not only what am I selling, what am I offering, but what does my branding look like? Is it more finished and polished? And in my case, that's what it was. Or is it more organic and natural feeling? And so maybe even the backgrounds of the logo or the banners or anything that you're creating on your websites or your social media, has that look and feel because that's going to be consistent with the way that you present your art and the way that you want your clients to feel while they're having the online or offline experience buying your art. So, this can have a lot to do with your accessories as far as like and the framing that maybe you have gold framing or black lacquer, or maybe you have white lacquer, or you have no framing, or you have rustic cool, Italian vintage looking frames and, metal, hammered metal, or different things like that. So, again, really think about what you're creating as your boutique, your business that people are going to tap into and have an experience of, like I said, maybe it's you having a little demo video of like, hey, you were here at this fair and you had all your pieces, or you had a um, uh, pop up at a retail shop or at a cafe or something like that. So I really want you to think as if you are walking into the store, like the business yourself, and what you are experiencing. Like, how does it make you feel? How does it smell? How does it is it like colder or is it warmer? Because maybe you have things like shells and the beach and the water and some of these things that are part of like what you're doing as your art. Or maybe it's more dark and more just, has like velvets and roses and some different um, just textures and things like that. So again, I want you to really really think like I did as a buyer for my boutique. I always was thinking about the client and what could I maximize. Could I make a really amazing card that people get along with the art piece, or if it was an artisan like a coaster. Like I used to have these amazing old vintage wine coasters that were under glass and they had metal, and the gal, we would put like ribbons, like really funky ribbons, and we would put them in boxes, so that it upped the value of those products as well. So it's a combination of not only how you created the art, but how are you displaying it? How are you sending it off in the mail or, UPS or FedEx or, whatever you're doing? It's like, are you putting a personalized note with it? Are you putting, I mean, if it's POD, you probably don't have that opportunity, but if it's something that you're actually, putting into a box or into an envelope or something like that, what other thing can you do to make that experience on the purchase side for a client, make it mean that much more to them, to where it's like, oh my gosh, because I know a lot of you as artists do custom pieces. Like, you will say, like, oh, if somebody wants an angel and they say, oh, well, I want the girl to have brunette, brown hair, or if this is for a friend, it's like, oh, could you put you know two angels in the picture, and maybe one is blonde like me and my friend has a brunette. So again, like, I know that some of you guys have custom art that you guys do for your clients, and so just putting a custom little card and saying, this is dedicated to Debbie and Jenna, and I'm so grateful to be able to make this for you guys, and something a little more personalized, because people don't expect that anymore. Like, you go into these stores now and they don't even have like real customer service from people actually working there. So yeah, so I just want you guys to think, like, how can I make this experience that much more special? And from a retailer standpoint, or gallery, it's like, okay, how can I get my work out there? You know, is it collaborating with, like when I had my boutique, I actually loved doing pop-up shops with artists because that would get more traffic for my store. So I really appreciated it when some of the artists that I would have in the store, they were like, hey, can we do a special evening or a weekend, and have like either just one artist or even have a few artists that show up and maybe, meet the artist and be able to, again, I mean, and if it's online, you could actually do something through maybe one of your groups, maybe one of your networking groups online or something, and say, hey, could I actually have a special event where I could show off all my work, and or part of the meeting, could I take, 10 minutes and show my work to the whole group so that they really know what I do, and maybe, maybe it's a free thing, maybe it's something that you pay a little bit for, or maybe you even pay a percentage of the sales for that pop-up, which normally that's like what we did at our store. So you know, we would get like anywhere from 30 to 40% of the sale for selling in boutique. So again, everything's negotiable, and it's super fun to get experience, really being out there and people getting to know like your work and getting to know you, because people love it. I mean, people buy art because of you as the person, as well as whether they like the art or not. So these are just some things to think about. And like I said, because I've been a professional buyer, I've had an award-winning boutique that was in a art district in Scottsdale, and I was highly, highly successful in promoting artists. And that's, why I'm doing this, because I just forgot those years that I was doing it, how much I really loved pouring into the artists like yourself and making sure that they were successful as well as myself. So God bless you guys. Until next time.